Good evening, everybody, and welcome again to Sports Final. I am your congenial host, Steve the Baxman Baxley. It is indeed an honor and a pleasure to be here tonight. Why? Because tonight our balls slowly but surely are returning to normal size. That's right, folks. After the holidays, uh, we're just lucky to be around. And yes, we do have some sports for you, and of course, we're going to try to fill up either 45 minutes to an hour of sports power with everything from sports to, yes, if we get time, and I know we will, part three. That's right, a live reading of X Farce Reloaded. Yes. Once again, our good friends over at Comicsgate doing a gangbuster. Oh, a good job. Parlez-vous français? A do-wah ditty do-wah. Now that I've done that, let's you and I get ready for a little Sunday fun day of thrills, chills, and, well, hopefully, unlike our after the first half little ditty, we will have the playoffs situation all in order. Let's start off first, like we normally do, with the exception of the NHL. Let's give you some football. That's right, football scores, Avu. And let's just go down to the Walrus here. And you want to do Sunday first or Sunday last? Sunday first? You want to do the afternoons? Good. Okay. It's great when the control room is over there. By the way, this is the Fred McLeod Sports Desk here at the Tom O'Neill Studios in beautiful, bucolic, and stinky Jackson, Michigan. And we can say that because, well, it's Willie Twill. Anyway, folks, let's give you this Sunday afternoon and then roll on to a game NBC was hoping would be a real hit. And after the first quarter, they realized they were in for some poo. And oh, God, was that game. I mean, even in Espanol, because Sunday Night Football is also shown on their Spanish language cousin network, NBC Universal, or just Universal, but it's NBC Universal because they still got the peacock logo on top of it. Anyway, now that we have your undivided attention, let's bring you the entire Sunday of football action. There we go. The hair is now quad. Okay, let's go to it. Our first game on the Sunday afternoon slot were the Ravens at the Bengals, and it was supposed to be an easy game for the Ravens, except for one thing. The Bengals sort of thrashed them in the shed. Yep, whooped them like a proverbial rented mule. Thank you, Jim Ross. Bengals beat the Ravens 41-21. The Minnesota goes like this for the Ravens. Johnson, the quarterback, 304 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Freeman for rushing, 6 rushing attempts for 17 yards and a TD. Andrews, 8 receptions, 125 yards, 1 touchdown. That was the Ravens. On the other side, Burrow, unlike last year, this year, wow, 525 yards, 4 touchdowns. Mixon, 18 rushing attempts for 65 yards, 1 touchdown. Higgins, 12 receptions, 194 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Once again, final score, Bengals over the Ravens by 20, 41-21. Buffalo Bills did something unusual. They beat Bill Belichick at his own game. Yes, the Bills beat the Patriots by 12. 33-21. Allen for the Bills was fantastic. 314 yards, 3 touchdowns, also 12 rushing attempts for 64 yards. McKenzie, 11 receptions, 125 yards, and a touchdown. For the Patriots, Jones, 145 yards. Harris, 18 rushing attempts, 103 yards, 3 touchdowns. And Myers, 6 receptions for 59 yards. Repeating the final score, Bills 33, Patriots 21. Wow. The Detroit Lions, and I got to agree with George Templeton, my good friend from the Facebook, and of course everything, Twitter and every place else around the sun, the moon, and the planets. He gave a very interesting compliment to the Detroit Lions. They have been playing like a team. They have lost a lot of games, but still, they're playing with heart. And it showed in the past 2 games. They had a nice little 2-game winning streak. Then they went to Atlanta, and their heart showed, but unfortunately, they still wound up on the losing end. Atlanta beat the Falcons by 4, 20-6. And for first timer, rookie quarterback Boyle, 187 yards, touchdown. Williams, 19 rushing attempts, 77 yards. St. Brown, 9 receptions. This guy, they got a gold mine. They better keep him for future seasons because he is good. 9 receptions, 91 yards, 1 touchdown. For the Falcons, Ryan, 215 yards and a touchdown. Davis, 7 rushing attempts, 28 yards. Pitts, 6 receptions, 102 yards. Falcons 20, Lions 16. And if it wasn't for that little tie with Pittsburgh, the Lions would be still would. Well, I'm going to say it. If it wasn't for a tie with Pittsburgh, the Lions and Jaguars would still be fighting for that first round draft pick. Instead, because of that tie, guess who gets it? For a second year in a row, the Jacksonville Jaguars have gotten the first round draft pick. Lions 2-12-1, Jaguars 2-13-0. They blew a chance. Jets came back, beat them 26-21. Lawrence, 280 yards. Ogunbowale, 17 rushing attempts, 57 yards, and a touchdown. Jones, 8 receptions, 74 yards. For the Jets, Wilson, 102 yards, touchdown. Carter, 16 rushing attempts for 118 yards. And Berrios, 5 receptions, 35 yards. Ooh, yes, we got more still, folks, more still. Houston Texans over the Los Angeles Chargers, 41-29. For the Chargers, Herbert, or Herbert if you prefer, 336 yards, 1 touchdown. Jackson, 11 rushing attempts, 64 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also, 8 receptions, 98 yards. For the Texans, Mills, 254 yards, 2 touchdowns. Burkhead, 22 rushing attempts, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns. Conley, 3 receptions, 60 yards, and a touchdown. Final score again, Houston Texans 41, LA Chargers 29. One of the big games, Vikings had a little problem. They've won some, they've lost some, and they knew if they would lose this one, they would be on the outside looking in, playoff-wise. Well, the Rams and Matthew Stafford have, I mean, really, I think the LA Rams got the best part of the deal. Matthew Stafford, unchained, beat the Minnesota Vikings 30-23. Stafford, 197 yards, touchdown. Mitchell, 27 rushing attempts, 131 yards, touchdown. Kupp, 10 receptions, 109 yards. For the Vikes, Cousins, 315 yards, 1 touchdown. Mattison, 13 rushing attempts, 41 yards, and a touchdown. Jefferson, 8 receptions, 116 yards. Final score once again, Rams 30, Vikings 23. Rams got Matthew Stafford has brought the Rams back to the playoffs. The Vikings, well, there is next season yet again. But we'll just see. The Giants met the Eagles and promptly left. Eagles beat the Giants 34-10. Glennon, 93 yards, a touchdown. Barkley, not Charles. 15 rushing attempts, 32 yards. Tony, 4 receptions, 28 yards. For the Eagles, Hurts really got good. 199 yards, 2 touchdowns. Sanders, 17 rushing attempts, 45 yards. And Smith, 5 receptions, 80 yards. And a touchdown. Final score once again, Philadelphia Eagles 34, Giants 10. We keep going, and well, this is another broken record, but Tom Brady did it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. The Tommy Buccaneer, the Carolina Panthers. Actually, they made them not only walk the plank, but they fed them to the Sharks. 32-6 final score. Brady 232 yards, touchdown. Vaughn 7 rushing attempts, 70 yards and a touchdown. Brown did a lot. 10 receptions, 101 yards for the Panthers. Darnold 190 yards. Newton rushed for 5 rushing attempts, 42 yards. Smith, 3 receptions, 86 yards. The Bears went over to Seattle. The Bears went over to Seattle. The Bears went over in Seattle and chewed them up by 1. Shocking. The Bears actually won for their coach, Matt Nagy, by 1, 25-24 for the Bears. Foles, 250 yards, 1 touchdown. Montgomery, 21 in rushing attempts, 45 yards, 1 touchdown. He also had 7 receptions for 61 yards. For the Seahawks, Wilson, 181 yards, 2 touchdowns. Penny, 17 rushing attempts, 135 yards, and a touchdown. Everett, 4 receptions, 68 yards, and a touchdown. Final score, Bears 25, Seattle 24. Las Vegas Raiders, they once again rolled the dice and shot their wad and beat the Broncos of Denver 17-13. Locke for the Broncos, 153 yards. Williams, 7 rushing attempts, 12 yards, 1 touchdown. Udy, 3 receptions, 60 yards for the Raiders. Cargo, beep, beep, and 201 yards with 1 touchdown. Jacobs, 27 rushing attempts, 129 yards. And Dr. Moreau, 4 receptions, 67 yards. Final score again, Raiders 17, Broncos 13. If you were a fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers, hoping to see them go in the playoffs, have a nice summer. Because the Steelers were embarrassed by the Kansas City Chiefs 36-10. Roethlisberger, his stellar career may be coming to a conclusion. 159 yards and a touchdown. Harris, 19 rushing attempts, 93 yards. Johnson, 6 receptions for 51 yards and a touchdown. For the Chiefs, like a good neighbor, Mahomes is there. 258 yards, 3 touchdowns. Williams, 11 rushing attempts, 55 yards. Pringle, 6 receptions, 75 yards, 2 touchdowns. And tonight's Sunday night disaster, it was yet another edition of Cowboys against the fill-in-the-blanks of Washington. And for this case, the fill-in-the-blanks, I don't think, showed up until late in the second half. The Dallas Cowboys, 56. The Washington, 14. Heineke, who may as well just get ready for the USFL return next season. Heineke, 121 yards, 1 touchdown. Patterson, 9 rushing attempts for 33 yards. Brown, 2 receptions, 53 yards for the Cowboys. Drew Prescott was magnificent. 333 yards, 4 touchdowns. Elliott, 9 rushing attempts, 37 yards, 1 touchdown. Cooper, 7 receptions, 85 yards, and a touchdown. Final score of the biggest smackdown behind the woodshed that the Dallas Cowboys gave the Washington, whatever they want to call themselves now, 56-14. Don't forget Monday night, the Dolphins take on the Saints to end Week 16. What? Oh, boy. And you're probably asking yourself now, playoff-wise, where do we go? Where do we go from here, folks? Well, we're going to tell you that right now. I tried to tell you that um, during our usual after the first half, as we were looking back to the 1 o'clock games. But sadly, they didn't provide an update. Now they do. Let's give you an update now on who's in and how things are looking. We have an updated playoff picture featuring complete postseason standings, tiebreakers already accounted for, and a rundown of wildcard contenders and projected opening weekend playoff matches for the AF and NFC. Chiefs, they get the top spot, 11-4, 11 wins, 4 losses. Titans number 2, 10-5. Number 3 and number 4 and number 5 and number 6. Bengals, Bills, Colts, Patriots, Colts, Patriots, all 9-6. Bengals number 3, Bills number 4, Colts number 5, Patriots number 6, and number 7, the Ravens at 8-7, on the brink. And there's a lot to say about being on the brink. And by the way, just to rectify one word, the Chiefs have officially clinched a playoff berth. But right now, on the brink, Chargers are in 8th with 8-7. Raiders are in 9th with 8-7. Steelers hanging on for dear life at 7-1, 10th. Dolphins hanging on at 7-7 for 11th. Browns hanging on 7-8 in 12th, and the Broncos 7-8, 13th place, 13th spot. So, who's out of the race? Jets, Texans at 4-11, Jaguars 2-13. Here are the projected wild card matchups. Number 1 seed, the Chiefs, get a first round bye. Meanwhile, number 7, Raiders. At number 2, Titans. Number 6, Patriots. And number 3, Bengals. And number 5, Colts. At number 4, the Bills. We'll have to see what happens. 2 weeks remaining in the season. So anything could happen. In the NFC, it is the Packers and Cowboys who have officially clinched playoff berths, along with the Rams, the Buccaneers, and the Cardinals. Packers get the top spot, 12-3. Cowboys second spot, 11-4. Rams third spot, 11-4. Buccaneers fourth spot, 11-4. Cardinals fifth spot, 10-5. Meanwhile, the Eagles are in 6th with 8-7, and the Eagles are in 7th, also at 8-7. On the brink, Saints are in 8th with 7-7. Vikings 9th, 7th and 8th, or 7-8. Falcons 10th place, 7-8. And Washington is in 11th at 6-9 and looking like they are about to be knocked out. But officially eliminated: Panthers 5-10, Bears 5-10, Seattle 5-10, Giants 4-11, Lions 2-12-1, and because of that one tie, they will not get, and I say this again, they will not get the first round draft pick in the 2022 NFL draft. Boo! And the projected wild card matchups on that, Number one, the Packers will have a first-round bye. The Eagles will take on the Cowboys, the 49ers take on the Rams, and the Cardinals take on the Buccaneers. So we will watch these games with authority. We have 2 weeks left in the season. 2 weeks. As we get ready for the 17th and, for the first time ever, an 18th week of football. And there you have it. Happy landings on a corporate star right there. That's your NFL with the playoff pictures. Let's go from the fake grass to giving you the NBA. We got a load up here. Tomorrow the NHL returns, but that doesn't mean the hockey season is, the other hockey games are not liable. And we'll give you those games shortly. Right now, let's take you on the road with the hoops. And everything is final. Miami Heat over the Orlando Magic, 93-83. The Memphis Grizzlies over the Sacramento Kings, 127-102. Philadelphia 76ers beat the Washington Wizards, 117-96. Cleveland Cavaliers over the Toronto Raptors, 144-99. San Antonio Spurs beat the wasted Detroit Pistons, 144-109. The OKC Thunder over the New Orleans Pelicans, 117-112. Chicago Bulls over the Indiana Pacers, 113-105. Denver Nuggets over the Los Angeles Clippers, 103-100. And that does it for that. Do we now go into the brink of boop, 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 boop? Yeah, let's go see if there are any games on the old calendar for a little hoopla doopla. That's right, it's our hoopla dooplas. And I got a feeling we didn't have any games tonight, that they're all going to be on the 28th. Let us see what we got here. Let's see. Do we have anything? Yep, 28th, we're all back in. That's right, the 28th, we are back in. How about the ladies? I got the wrong button there. Let's press yeah. Yep, 27th, tomorrow, the ladies come back. So we go from there to the G League. And wow, you know what that means? We're going to be reading pretty soon. Okay, did we have any games tonight? In, of course, the warmth bosom of Vegas. We shall find out right here, right now, as we spin around and say, no, come on. Even the G League will be back on December 27th. So that is it for basketball. No hockey games on the NHL till tomorrow, maybe. So we go to see if we got some hockey scores to talk about. Men's Division I hockey, no games. How about women's D1? And the women are no games there. Okay. Let's go to the minors. And for that, let's first take stop over at the American Hockey League. And let's get you some scores or postponements just to make matters gefunga. And there were no games slated on Sunday. They're back on Monday. Wow. Yeah, they're back on Monday. And now we go to Ontario. Find out they had any games, and they did not. Their games coming up Tuesday, December 28th. Already one has been postponed. If we can, there you go. One game has already been postponed. Ottawa and Oshawa We have 2 games remaining. Windsor Spitfires, Kitchener Rangers, Barrie Colts, and the Owen Sound Attack will be up on Tuesday. Okay, we got more minors. We got more minor league hockey. We'll see if the other leagues are in it. Thank you. Okay, let's go to the ECHL. And we're going to just find out if there were any games to talk about tonight. And I can tell you right now, oops, hey there. Okay, so this 27th, they're coming back. So there you go, ECHL. Let's go to the Southern Professional League and find out if they had some action tonight. And they did. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. Let's give you a score. Do we have score? Yes, we do. Okay, let's give you some scores, and let's do it properly. The Pensacola Ice Flyers beat the Birmingham Bulls 3-1. Huntsville Havoc over the Macon Mayhem 3-1. Peoria Rivermen smack-dabbed Vermilion County Bobcats 6-1. Evansville Thunderbolts and the Quad City Storm were postponed due to COVID. And in a shootout, the Knoxville Ice Bears over the Roanoke Rail Yard Dogs 3-2. And that is a look at Sunday, December 26th in the SPHL. Now, are you ready? Let's go to the Federal Prospects Hockey League. This is going to be fun. Yes, it is. Federal Prospect Hockey League. And let's go to games people play. Right or wrong. Game Center, let's take a look at the scores, if there were any tonight. And it kind of looks like there isn't any, so they will be back on Monday. Excuse me. They'll be back Monday. And believe it or not, whoa, yeah, we did have a game. We had a game, one game. That's right. Port Huron defeated Carolina 4-2. Congratulations, Port Huron. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of our hockey segment here on Sports Final. And as we click and check, let's give you some headlines. And boom, the NHL is first on our headlines. After COVID outbreaks throughout the league forced an extended holiday break to be taken, the National Hockey League is tentatively set to resume its regular season on Tuesday with some adjustments to minimize schedule disruptions and keep the 2021-22 season going. Specifically, the reintroduction of taxi squads that teams will be able to draw from to keep their numbers up. According to the Associated Press, the NHL will now permit its teams to use a reserve squad consisting of up to 6 players when the regular season resumes, reintroducing the taxi squads that were featured during the league's shortened 2021 season. Taxi squad players will count as being in the minors for NHL salary cap purposes, and they will be able to be on the taxi squad for a maximum 20 days. The new taxi squads are set to be in effect through at least the NHL All-Star break in early February. We'll take a little swig here of go-go juice. All right. In addition to the taxi squads, the NHL will now permit teams to make emergency recalls from the minor leagues should COVID related absences prevent them from fielding a full lineup of players. Now, any team that is unable to have at least 12 forwards, 6 defensemen, and 2 goalies available will be able to bring up a player from the American Hockey League to prevent playing a game with less than 18 skaters. Teams may now also make emergency recalls of players with a salary cap hit of up to $1 million, an increase from the $850,000 cap hit that had previously been the limit. The changes were prompted after the NHL was forced to begin its annual Christmas break early due to the spread of COVID throughout the league, which forced a total of 64 games to be postponed. Although other leagues in the U.S. have adjusted their testing requirements with respect to the spread of COVID variants, the NHL's ability to do so is constrained due to restrictions in place by the Canadian government. Yes, the Canadian government of Justin Trudeau, whose thugs beat up a news reporter for Rebel News, manhandled him and treated him worse than Ned Beatty was treated in the film Deliverance by those quote unquote inbred hillbillies. Made him squeal like a pig. Okay, let's keep the love going, shall we? Yes, we shall. Let's keep that love coming in stronger and stronger. Okay, we broke this story, or we jointly broke this story earlier today during after the first half football recoup. But the 2021 Military Bowl has now been canceled for the second year in a row. Boston College was forced to pull out of its matchup against East Carolina, scheduled for Monday, due to a combo of COVID-19 cases and injuries. Additionally, the Fenway SMU in Virginia has also been canceled after positive cases on the Cavs roster. It was set to be the final game for Coach Bronco Mendenhall at UVA after he resigned from the program earlier this month. Now the Bulls are the second and third outright cancellations of bowl season, joining Hawaii pulling out of the Hawaii Bowl against Memphis on Christmas Eve. Additionally, Texas A&M was forced to pull out the Gator Bowl due to COVID issues. Rutgers did step in to take the Aggies' place as a 5-7 squad. Last season, 18 bowls were canceled by the pandemic. Now, the matchup is the second straight bowl game canceled for SMU, though the Mustangs would have been without a bulk of the coaching staff after former coach Sonny Dykes left for TCU. The Cavaliers, meanwhile, were searching for their third winning season in the last 4 years under Mendenhall before new coach Tony Elliott took over the program. For East Carolina, the cancellation is especially disappointing. The Pirates have not played in a bowl game since 2014, but earned a 7-5 record in Mike Houston's third season. Boston College hasn't won a bowl game since 2016. Alrighty, let's go to go to the NFL COVID, and here is the up-to-date list, and we're going to give you all of those. For the Arizona Cardinals, punter Andy Lee, center Rodney Hudson, Atlanta Falcons, defensive lineman Marlon Davidson. Well, we'll give you as much as we can, but wow. There is, 213 players have tested positive for COVID-19, according to Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network. That is about 10% of the league. And man, oh man, not exactly a very welcome sight. Now, let's see. Where do we go from here, guys? Okay, let's do an NBA report. And in 71, Norm Van Leer made NBA history. What did he do, you may ask? Well, he had one of the strangest stat lines in the league's history: 0 points, 13 assists, and 11 rebounds. No player before or since had posted a double double without scoring a single point. Now, that makes sense intuitively. The sort of player that handles the ball enough to rack up 10 assists is almost always going to be good enough to stumble into a single point. If he's big enough to pull in 10 rebounds, then he's probably going to at least draw a foul at some point. Yet for more than 50 years, no player in the league history has managed to match Norm Van Leer. Well, they didn't count on Sunday. Oklahoma City Thunder rookie Josh Giddey posted a similar but slightly cleaner line. No points, 10 assists, and 10 rebounds. That made him the second player in league history to post a scoreless double-double. And just as Van Leer did 5 decades ago, Gidley's Thunder managed to win their game against the New Orleans Pelicans 117 to 112. It's fitting that Giddey is the player that matched Van Leer, considering their stylistic similarities. Neither Van Leer nor Giddey were prolific scorers, but made up for it with their all-around contributions. Van Leer averaged 7 assists and 4.8 rebounds per game in his career. Giddey is averaging 6 assists and 7 rebounds per night in his rookie campaign. If he continues to develop this race, he could challenge Oscar Robertson and Russell Westbrook as the only players ever to average a triple-double for a season, although Big O and the Broad both have scoring titles under their belts. For now, Giddey left cell for this esoteric bit of NBA history. The Thunder drafted him to be a versatile contributor rather than an elite scorer, and on Sunday, Giddey lived up to the billing with one of the rarest stat lines you'll ever see in a professional basketball game. Yay. Okay, once again, final score, Oklahoma City Thunder 117, New Orleans Pelicans 112. Wow. Omicron, that's right. Omicron. All right, let's by the way, the Giants announced plans to bring back coach Joe Judge and quarterback Daniel Jones. Yay. Okay. Let's take a look right now and see if we have anything in the media books tonight before we go beyond world. Excuse me. All right. Here are the headlines. Antonio Brown balks at questions about returning from suspension after Buccaneers' Week 16 win. Meanwhile, Fox's John Madden documentary, All Madden, will be available on streaming January the 3rd. Wow. Bill Belichick didn't want to talk New Year's resolutions, but it's fine. He was asked. And, man, if you saw that John Madden documentary, that was a tearjerker. That was pure class for Fox to do that. So there you go. John Madden is one hell of a guy. I'll tell you, he is a great ambassador to the game of basketball. Speaking of which, Colin Kaepernick, well, he made news again, and this time it ain't good. When has it ever been good for Colin Kaepernick? His acquisition company lost a lucrative deal due to his refusal to promote and do interviews. Let's talk about that, kids. Colin Kaepernick's reluctance to promote his works and sit down for high-profile interviews has cost his company a very lucrative deal, according to the Wall Street Journal. Kaepernick's SPAC, Special Purpose Acquisition Company, was close to finalizing a deal to acquire the Change Company, California lending firm that helps minority borrowers who have had difficulty getting loans from traditional banks. Its mission statement is, quote, to bank the underbanked fairly and responsibly, end quote. A socially conscious company dedicated to helping Black and Latino communities would appear to fit ideally with Kaepernick, whose activism for social justice and racial equity have made him a celebrity associated with protests. Of course, he's a very controversial figure whose outspokenness towards racial injustice likely ended his NFL career. But as Kaepernick's Mission Advancement Corp neared an agreement with the Change Company, he refused requests to promote the lender. Most notably, Kaepernick would agree to be interviewed by Good Morning America uh, co-host George Stephanopoulos. That effectively ended any chance of wow. A SPAC, sometimes called a black check company, raises capital to acquire or merge with existing companies, according to this person. Or, excuse me, I'm getting a little sleepy weepy here. So, oh God, help me. Excuse me, folks. Okay, that is our media report. Let's hit some international. And if we have time, we'll get a couple of X-Farce pages for you. So here we go with the fixture as of Sunday. And in the Premier League, it was Manchester over Leicester City, 6-3. Arsenal over Norwich City, 5-0. Tottenham Hotspur over Crystal Palace, 3-0. Southampton over West Ham United, 3-2. Chelsea over Aston Villa, 3-1. Brighton and Hove Albion, 2-0 over Brentford. Scottish Premiership action. Celtic over St. Johnstone, 3-1. Aberdeen over Dundee, 2-1. Hibernian over Dundee United, 3-1. Heart of Midlothian over Ross County, 2-1. Motherwell beat Livingston, 2-1. Rangers over St. Mirren, 2-0. In the championship, only one game to report on, and that was Huddersfield Town over Blackpool, 3-2, and Middlesbrough over Nottingham Forest, 2-0. League One action. Let's take you on a tour. Lincoln City lost to Milton Keynes Dons, 3-2. Shrewsbury Town over Fleetwood Town, 3-0. Wigan Athletic over Crow Alexandria. That was, Let's see, Shrewsbury Town over Fleetwood Town, 3-0. Plymouth Argyle over Cheltenham Town, 2-0. Accrington Stanley beat Rotherham United, 1-0. Right now in League Two action, it's Mansfield Town over Hartlepool United, 3-2. Scunthorpe United over Oldham Athletic, 3-1. And wow. The Tranmere Rovers defeated Barrow 2-0. And let's give you at least the bottom of the barrel in the Turkish Super League. Gaziantep over Kaker, 1-0. Alanyaspor defeated Faith Karagümrük, 1-1. Gotepe, 1-1. Copy. There we go. Ooh, wow, sorry. There's your skinny and sweet. And I think we're going to postpone tonight's reading of X-Farce till tomorrow because we are down to our final moments here. In fact, let's Let's take you to Italy, the basketball league. Only one game to report on. Pizarro and Brindisi, 91-89. Pizarro wins. In Swedish hockey, it was Brynäs. It was Brynäs over Malmo 4-0. Farjestad over Linkopings 3-1. In overtime, Orbro over Luleå 3-2. Skellefteå over Oskarshamn 4-1. In overtime, Djurgårdens over Rogel 5-4. Timrå over Leksand 5-1. In the World Junior Champion, in the World WCH under 20, Finland over Germany 3-1, Sweden over Russia 6-3, Canada over the Czech Republic 6-3, and USA over Slovakia 3-2. In the Czech Republic, Mountfield over Ziln 5-2, Liberec 4, Mladi Boleslav 3, and with penalty shots, Olomouc over Karlovy Vary 3-2. Another game went to the penalty shots. Victovis over Pardubice 3-2, and Triniac over Cometa Brno 3-2. In overtime, it was Kladno 3, Litvinov 2. In Finland, for those of you who would like to know, Karpat 5, JYP 1, Luko over Vasensport 3-2, Saipa over Kuku 4-1, Tapra in overtime defeated Jukrit 3-2, Asat over TPS Turku 5-1, and IFK Helsinki over the Pelicans 2-1. And that is all. And I'm glad that's all because we are over our allotted time. How you doing, Dandelion Fluff? And you know what? We're going to do it. We're going to read. That's right. It is time now here on Sports Final. We got plenty of it. So we're going to go chapter 3 of the Comicsgate favorite, X-Farce Reloaded. And this is going to be fun. Hopefully everything went good for you this Christmas, Dandelion. It was certainly good for me. Let's bring the light in from the overhead so I can get in on the reading here. Get on with the reading, yes, friends, yes. Okay, let's get to it. I love being called Schnookens. Makes me feel good. Here we go. We're here with Meat Lowfield, artist for Gravel Comics, mega best-selling comic book, X-Farce. And Dandelion, you're off to bed if you want to hold off till tomorrow. Yes, we might as well do that. We got, let's see, 3. We got part 3 and a part 4. So we're going to hold off till tomorrow, the reading of this fine comic. And then, by that time, we should be ready. We'll be selecting another fun-loving comic Comic-Gate book. And we're going to be here tomorrow. We hope you will be here as well. We will be on the air at midnight Eastern time. That way we can do things and remain upright and personable. By the way, how do you like this shirt? This is from the convention here in Jackson. It is MegaCon, as it's now called Mega XP, and it is the Beast. So that is going to wrap it up for us. We want to thank you all for tuning in. We're back tomorrow night at midnight Eastern. Hope you will be too. I'm going to go catch me some sleep. Sweet dreams, Dandelion. And I know your dreams are definitely going to be sweet. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you. Thank you very much. I pride myself on some of the shirts. The back, it's got my name on it, as well as other folks who have backed what is now known as Mega XP. There we go. So we thank you folks very much for tuning in. We'll tune in with you tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody. This has been Sports Final. I'm Steve the Baxman Baxley. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports. Back tomorrow at midnight. Till then, have a great night and a good tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.